Dear matriculants, please dress properly. Dress properly. Make sure you're wearing your gown and putting on the cap to fit. The procession will be filing in any moment from now, and we're expected to rise as they're filing in. Please, may we all rise as the procession, academic procession files in. You're all welcome to the 2022-2023 academic session, matriculation, and the 10th commencement lecture of this great university. The 10th commencement lecturer of today is Mr. Steve Okeleji of Aquaculture and an aquaculture enterprise developer and the CEO, Aquatic Orb Afrique Network. He's a FUNAAB alumnus and one of the foremost entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Once again, we are all welcome to the 2022-2023 academic session matriculation ceremony at the 10th commencement lecture of this great university. The 10th commencement lecturer today is Mr. Steve Okeleji of an aquaculture enterprise developer and the CEO of Aquatic Orb Afrique Network. He's a great FUNAAB alumnus and one of the foremost entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Please let's put our hands together for him. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem, please. FUNAAB anthem, please. May we all be seated, please? Thank you very much. Dear matriculants, I have the honor to introduce to you today the Vice Chancellor of this great university, Professor Olusola Babatunde Kehinde. Please let's give him a resounding applause. The Vice Chancellor is a fellow of the Genetic Society of Nigeria and fellow of Institute of Health and Safety. Please let's put our hands together for him once again. Also on the high table today, we have the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Christian Ikeobi. Please let's put our hands together for him. We also have with us this morning the Deputy Vice Chancellor Development, Professor Kolawole Adebayo. Also, the Registrar of our great university, Dr. Bola Adekola, FCIA, FCIDA. Please let's put our hands together for him. We have with us this morning once again, the representative of the BOSA, Mr. Olukayode Oshinuga. Please let's put our hands together for him. Also on the high table is the university librarian, Professor Feyintola Onifade. Let's give her a round of applause. In no particular order, I have the honor once again to recognize the presence of Professor Adebayo Akinloye. He's the Dean of College of Veterinary Science. Veterinary Medicine, I beg your pardon, and the Chairman of CODAT, Committees of Deans and Directors in our great university. Please let's put our hands together for him once again. Also, we have the representative of the Dean of the College of Food Science and Human Ecology, COFEC, Professor Moji Adekunwa. Also on the high table is the Dean College of Animal Science and Livestock Production, Colony, Professor Olushiki Showande. We have with us on the high table this morning, the Dean College of Engineering, Professor Olawale Dairo. We have with us also Professor Isaac Omoni. He is the Dean College of Environmental Resources Management, Colime. Also, we have the Dean College of Biosciences, Cobals, Professor Iyabode Kehinde. Professor Iyabode Kehinde is the wife of our Vice Chancellor. Please let's put our hands together for her once again. We have with us on the high table this morning, Professor Adio Akinwale. He's the Dean College of Physical Sciences, COFIS. The Dean College of Plant Science and Crop Production, Copeland, is Professor Jonathan Atungu. Also, Professor Emmanuel Fakoya. He is the Dean College of Agricultural Management and Rural Development, Kodam Road. Also with us this morning is the Acting Dean College of Entrepreneur and Development Studies, Copeland, Dr. Sunday Posu. Thank you very much. At this juncture, I have the singular honor to invite our registrar to commence the proceedings of the matriculation. Please let's put our hands together for Dr. Bola Adekola. Thank you very much.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, Principal Officers of the University, Deans and Directors, I have the honor of inviting the Vice Chancellor, Professor O.B. Kehinde, to declare this matriculation ceremony open.
By the powers conferred on me by the Senate of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, I declare this matriculation ceremony open. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is the tradition of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, to always celebrate its matriculation ceremony with a commencement lecture. We have a commencement lecturer in the house, and I have the honor of inviting the university orator, who ably is also the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor C.O.N. Nikiobi, to please come and introduce the university orator to the audience by reading a citation.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, with your kind permission, I would like to present the citation of the commencement lecturer for today. And I also would like to invite him, Steve Okeleji, a worthy alumnus of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, to please stand and remain standing. Thank you, sir. Steve Okeleji's experience in the aquaculture industry is as old as his existence on earth. He is privileged to have been brought to this world by an old veterinarian. He was awarded the African Agricultural Development Champion Award at the 2021 African Impact Leadership Awards. He is a household name in the African aquaculture industry with experience spanning over 20 years. Steve is a member of the United Nations Private Sector Advisory Group, UNPSAG. He is a master trainer, an aquaculture and enterprise developer, having facilitated several engagements with developmental agencies like the UKAID, the World Bank, the WAAPP, FUNAAB 3 project, the APOS German Foundation, GIZ, and many more. He is a practical farmer who has been able to set up the largest aquaculture project in Nigeria. In 2017, Steve founded Aquatic Hub Afrique Network, AHAN, as an offshoot of the Fish Shoal Nigeria, a commercial aquaculture firm. Fish Shoal Nigeria was earlier founded in 2006, his second year as a student of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Fish Shoal Nigeria's production capacity is currently towering at 20 million pieces. That is 20,000 tons of fish per annum. Since 2017, his company, AHAN, has developed capacities of over 4,500 fellows across West Africa, while also managing the largest aquaculture outfit in West Africa. That is the 127-hectare Bielsa Aquaculture Village. The Aquatic Hub Afrique Network is the fastest growing aquaculture network in Africa at the moment. In 2018, Steve also co-founded Aquaseas Company Limited with the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, as the chairman. The company focuses on the delivery of fish products to major ports across the world. Steve is a practitioner of the food systems and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. His successes for designing and developing the largest fish cage culture system in Nigeria makes him one of the most sought after names in the industry, as he is currently designing the replication model for other African countries. Steve is a graduate of aquaculture and fisheries management from the prestigious Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Nigeria, and a scholar. He is also a scholar of the Business School, Netherlands. To recognize his landmark achievement across the world of business and influence, Steve was inducted into the Who is Who Hall of Fame in Ondo State in the year 2022. He has so far been able to extend his business operations that began in Abeokuta, Ogun State, to other parts of the country, like Oyo State, Osun State, Ondo State, and Bayelsa State. Steve is married to Abimbola Okeleji, a seasoned legal practitioner, and they have two beautiful daughters. Steve is a philanthropist and recently founded the Blue Echo Foundation, a nonprofit centered on serving humanity and touching lives. He is a global citizen. Thank you very much. With the Vice Chancellor's kind permission, it is my honor and privilege to invite the commencement lecturer of the 2022/2023 academic session of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Mr. Steve Okeleji, to deliver the commencement lecture. Thank you very much, sir.
Morning, Mr. Vice Chancellor. I'm a bit emotional, and so you would pardon me. Great FUNAABites. Great FUNAABites. Great FUNAABites. You've been possessed of the right spirit. That is the spirit of UNAB. I'm sorry if I still have to refer to it as UNAB. I graduated from UNAB, but it is now FUNAAB. All right, the chairman of today's occasion, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Obi Kende, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics, Professor C.O.N. Ikeobi, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Development, Professor Kolawole, the Great Amsterdam, and my dear senior and a fellow golfer. I greet you specially. We share a lot in common. Members of the Senate and principal officers seated here. My former lecturers, particularly from the Department of Aquaculture and Fisheries Management, the non-academic staff, the alumni here seated and represented, our special guests and dignitaries that are here, our parents, their students, the entire university community, gentlemen of the press, good morning once again. I bring you greetings from my family, the Okelejis. The Okelejis have a history with UNAB. And my beautiful wife, Abimbola Okeleji, and my two other daughters. Two of my brothers with me graduated from this great citadel. And that was why I was a bit emotional. Seeing you all this morning clothed in green, reminds me of the way I felt many years ago, exactly 22 years ago. I was clothed in green just like you, sitting somewhere around the high in front of the library. And I was seated with so much excitement, the way you feel today. I'm sure you all feel excited to be here. And down deep inside of you, I also know that you have your worries and concerns about the future. And that was the same way I felt those days. But before I continue the lecture for today, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I would quickly want to congratulate you and your team and the entire university community for your new appointment as a substantive Vice Chancellor of this great citadel that I am a proud alumnus. I'm a very proud alumnus of this Federal Institution of Agriculture. And I know that your reputation precedes you. You have a knack for hard work. And I know that this opportunity also gives you a chance to be able to, cast your name and write your name and your team on the sands of time. And I know that I do not have any out of doubt that you will be able to do very well in your own time as the Vice Chancellor of the school. So dear students, today, like I told you, it's just about 22 years ago that I also got matriculated just like you. And I remember vividly, and I'm going to tell you my story of UNAB. My story of UNAB is that is very exciting and interesting. And I hope that at the end of today's lecture, I will be able to leave some of you with an indelible impression that would help you to carry on in future. Like I said, I was just seated like you, thinking, full of excitement. And the question deep inside of my mind was what I was going to do later in life with my degree. And that was a deep question in my heart. I wanted to be an engineer. I tried everything I could to be an engineer, but I couldn't become an engineer. Even before I came to school, my parents had been calling me Engineer Steve. And that's got into my head. And then I got enrolled into UNAB. And then the normal saying that you all will say, they gave me fisheries. And then I said to myself, what am I really going to do with fisheries? But I am also privileged to be born by an old veterinarian. I grew up on the farm with my parents. My mom happened to be a teacher. And the beauty of it was that in the state where I come from, we like to always introduce ourselves as farmers and as scholars. That is Ondo State. Ondo State is a very rich agrarian state. And I wouldn't know if there are Ondo State indigenes here. All right? So I had this impression that because I grew up on the farm, there was nothing really to learn more about aquaculture and fisheries. I was already making money for my parents as a young child, while I was very young. And I was not still happy. In my second year, I tried to switch my course from aquaculture and fisheries to engineering. And I discovered that I could not still get that engineering. And I said, I think God really wants me to stay on this path. And so if you are here and you are thinking of changing your course from aquaculture and fisheries management in particular, I tell you, please don't. The world of aquaculture remains uncharted. And I'm here to tell you that this institution is the greatest institution you can ever attend in Nigeria. I am not saying this because I'm right in front of you. I'm saying this because I have met a lot of products of this great citadel, and we are all top flyers everywhere we are in the world. And so I will tell you that you don't have to change your course. Whatever course you've been given, in quotes, I think destiny destiny beholds on you to do something remarkable with it. And so, my story, those days, we normally have this incessant ASU strike. And unfortunately, it hasn't abated again, but we hope and pray sincerely that this incoming dispensation will be able to put a total rest to this incessant ASU strike, because our university environment and the academic environment in Nigeria deserves better environment and deserve, better packages for us to be able to achieve all that we are set to achieve as scholars. And so we normally had this incessant ASU strike, and then it was enough time for us to, play as young students who had the opportunity. I was just fresh in 200 level. And then I said to myself, what am I going to do differently with my time? Ordinarily, I have no reason to want to take any interest or tangential into business so early. Because, like I said, I was privileged to be born by a very comfortable father. My father was an industrialist, and he also had a very big farm, not just the fish farm. He had a combination of all, the animal husbandry system was what he was practicing then. So it was an integrated farm. And I remember when I was coming to school those old days, in 2002 precisely, I was given a 120,000 naira check by my dad. I was very comfortable in school. He drove me down in his Benz, gave me all that was needed, and he gave me a parting word that guided me throughout my stay in school. I will say that in Yoruba. He said, "Run your moinity one share." And that's what I'm going to tell you here today. We've all come from different places, different backgrounds, and you must, run your moinity one share. You must always remember the daughters and sons of who you are. And so I had no reason to say I wanted to do business. But the ASU strike spilled over from 6 months to about 7 months. And I said to myself, Steve, you need to start making money. And so early in life, I was exposed to reading. I remember as a young child that I was able to read about 16 autobiographies, including biographies too. And that informed my life. And I discovered that most of these successful people that I read about, just 2 of them only had a better background. And these are not Nigerians. Just 2 of them only had a better background than myself. And I said, Steve, you have no excuse. And so what I did was to travel up north. I prepared a questionnaire, and I, pretended as if I was a student, trying to also gather, some information about my project. And I was just in 200 level. So I traveled up north because I know that we had challenges of climate in the north, and we could not, the northern part of the country couldn't produce the kind of fish we produce here in terms of size and quantities. And we had that in abundance in the south western part of the country. And so the few farmers I met, I couldn't speak Hausa, and they couldn't understand me. So I had to look for a youth corps in Kano who was able to understand what I was, trying to get done. And he introduced me to a group of farmers, and we started asking the question. He was my interpreter, and they were able to fill the questionnaire. I was able to gather enough information, and I saw that big gap, that there was a need for fish production and supply up north. And so I came back home, and I met with my professor, Professor G.N. Izeri. Those days, I'm sure he's not here, but like I used to tell people that Professor G.N. Izeri's story in the story of Steve Okeleji occupies more than a page. I met with him and I said, sir, I have this great opportunity. And don't forget that I told you that we were right deep in the ASU, strike then. And Prof also was struggling to feed his fish. And I told him, I said, Prof, I have a big market. He said, Steve, where is the market? I said, it's in the north, in Kano. He said, Steve, when did you go to Kano? I said, I just had to go because I felt we could just do something, different. And then he said, are you sure? I said, okay, so are you ready to buy the fish? I said, yes, I'm ready. He said, how much are you ready to pay? That because I'm ready to sell this fish for 10 naira. Then fingerlings. Then I said, sir, I will buy for 8 naira. Prof said, this price is too low. And he had over 50,000 pieces of fish. And then I told Prof, I said, Prof, just allow me to take it for 8 naira. Then he later called me and he said, Steve, okay, come and pick. And then it got to the point where I needed to pay. And I said, Prof, I don't have money. Prof said, Steve, what are we going to do? And Prof has this way of speaking. He said, you know how I've been feeding this fish for a long time now. You have to look for the money. Even if I'm going to give you some on credit. I said, Prof, I don't have money. I only have money for the logistics. I have to get the jerry cans. I have to rent the buses. I had the buses who would take me on this trip. Then he said, okay, Steve, I will give you a try. I said, Baba, I don't have anywhere to run to. I am your student. And you also know my father. And he said, no problem. I got the fish. I got on the road and I got to Kano safely. I delivered the first set of 50,000 pieces of fish to Kano. I was able to sell for 20 naira in Kano. Prof sold to me for 8 naira. And so when I came back, conveniently, I was able to pay Prof back his money. Don't forget that we were on ASU strike. We had a lot of us playing around and wasting our time right here in school. And today, your future is unfolding right before you. You have the opportunity to start now. And what I did then was impressive to Prof, and Prof started more production. And Prof became my first business partner in FUNAAB. And we started producing and we started selling up north. But he would always tell me, Steve, you must take your education seriously. And that I never joked with. I had 3 predictable movements. It was my farm, the school, and the church. And that was what I was doing throughout while I was in school. It was quite tedious for me to carry on as a young guy to say, you still have to wind up with good grades. And I did all this without my parents knowing. My parents didn't know that I was already doing all this. And in my 3rd year, I stopped collecting money from them. And my father was worried that, what is this boy up to? He wouldn't ask me for money. And then he would call. Normally, I'm not supposed to go home. And I wouldn't go home. I would just stay back. Because in my 3rd year, I had enough money to buy a farm somewhere behind where the VC used to live those days. And I bought a plot of land and I started my fish farm gradually with just 2 boxes. It became 4. 4 became 8, 8 became 16. And that is the story of my FUNAAB experience and how I was able to also take a tangential into business. All right, so Prof, please, you will allow me to be a little bit familiar because this is home for me. I'm not a visitor. This is my home. This is my father's house. I will be, God will be unhappy You know, if I do not use this opportunity to recognize my lecturers, they gave me the opportunity in life. And that was why I was a bit emotional when I wanted to talk, because my memories got flooded with a lot of feelings, and I had to pause for a minute. My history and my story is incomplete without these great people who have really helped me. On their shoulders, I've risen this tall. Nothing can be done by man if you do not have the support of people, good people. And as young fellas, I am pleading with you that you should take ownership of your life. You are now set to become, the owners of your life, not that of your parents anymore. You are by yourself going to be taking decisions. And so I would like to start with Professor Akiemi. I'm not sure he's here. Professor Akiemi from the Department of, we have two Akiemis. I'm going to get to my prof. From the Department of Physics. Professor Akiemi has been a great benefactor. Professor Akiemi from Physics Department, I wouldn't know if he's still there, yeah. And then Professor Badmos and Antiwura, I call them, they're all from the Department of Physics. Professor Mrs. Kende, also all the way from Pedigree, has been a support and encourager, for me to be able to carry on. I will also want to thank Professor Latif Sonny. These are great people who have really helped me and have impacted in my life. Now, let me come to my department. Professor G.N. Ezeri remains my father and an icon that I will always adore, because I might not have this opportunity again to, address the university community. And I must also thank them. Professor Mrs. Bukola George, I call her Mami. My dear uncle, Professor Shegun Alegbeleye, who never took it easy with me. He still scolds me till tomorrow. But I love him. He's a great man. He helped me throughout. His words were always, the kind of guiding lights throughout my stay in school. And, each time I saw him, I remember my dad, the Ronti Humanity one thing. So you just want to get serious anytime you're around him. Professor Omoni. Professor Omoni is my baba, and he's here seated. Thank you for all you've done, your encouragement and prayers for me. They all supported me while I was in school. Professor Sampsons, Akegbejo, that's another father of mine, also from the same source. Dr. Iki. Dr. Iki later became my business partner. He didn't teach me, but we became business partner before he got the lecturing job in UNAAB. I was always getting fish from him on credits, those good old days, because I didn't have enough money to buy everything. So they will always release this to me on trust. And so I also want to thank Professor Agbo, no more in FUNAAB, but he also impacted positively in my life. Professor Obasa, for his love and care. Professor Ola Oye, Paje. Paje was my man, and he will always encourage me. Thank you, sir, for all you did. I will also want to thank Professor Tubusi. He's not here, but Professor Tubusi happened to be the Baba of aquaculture in FUNAAB. Professor Mrs. Agbebi, great auntie. She took me also like a son, and she was very helpful, especially when she was also doing I think it was a PhD. We were both supportive together in trying to also, help her get all those genetic implants she was trying to do on fish those days. And also Professor Mrs. Ikenwewe, good mother, prayerful mother. She will always say, bless you, my son, So UNAAB is a beautiful community. And I'm doing all this so that you all can know that you are not in the wrong place. This is a beautiful community where you can get to the pinnacle of your career if you are true to yourself. I also want to thank Professor Itowu, Professor Adioshun, Professor Adioshun, the boy. He was everywhere. He was the consciousness of everything. I also want to thank him, Professor Odulate. I wouldn't know if he's here. Professor Odulate happened to be a man who you don't want to miss his lecture because he always tell you new things that are challenging. And we had a name for him then, in case he's here. And if he's not here, please tell him that we used to, although he knows, we called him anchovy. So, we have some fishes that are always very, they're always on top of water. So we call those fish the pelagic fish. So we used to refer to them as anchovy fish. So we nicknamed him then anchovy. I'm sure if you call him anchovy, it would knock your head down. And so Baba Odole, sir, I wouldn't know where he is now. Professor Akiemi, that is seated here. Professor Akiemi was a different lecturer. He was quiet, he was systemic, and he was loving. I remember that he once called me into his office while I was about to graduate. He prayed for me, and he gave me the encouragement to go on. I want to thank you for all you've been doing, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I wouldn't know. I don't think I've missed any name. Professor Abdul. Professor Abdul was also my business partner. He was, I understand he's on sabbatical because I called him yesterday and I said I was coming to school. Professor Abdul was my very good ekpon who will do everything. He will stand in for me, those good old days, you know, to get even money from the banks. He did that. And I thank you so much for all this. I have to go into all this because it's very important, you know, your lecturers. Do not be hostile. Pay attention. They are your forerunners. They have been there. They are supposed to be the ones to guide you. I was able to build a very solid relationship with all my lecturers, no one with exception. And I want to say that if I have not mentioned your name, you probably didn't teach me, or maybe you didn't teach me well in my department, but I think I was able to mention all the names of my lecturers. I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to go this far in life. All right, so dear students, I'm just about to start today's lecture. That is my story. Prof gave me the honor to become a lecturer for the first time in my life. And so I am not going to bore you. You have heard the suit story, but I need to talk to you directly as brothers and sisters. And maybe children, because 22 years ago, I can actually father some of you now. All right, so you must cut me some respect. So, dear students, like I said, that your future is right here unfolding in front of you. I know we come from different backgrounds, different families, different family values, but there are minimum basic standards that is expected of an African family. You are now in an environment, and I want to plead with you that you must keep those standards. Don't destroy our school. We didn't destroy our school, all right? And it's an opportunity to also become greater than Steve Okeleji. Here in school, you will meet a lot of people. You will meet the good, the bad, the ugly. You will meet all kinds of people. You must learn to live together happily with one another. I've talked about the family values, the society, and your academics is so important. I really need to just run fast so I don't have to take much of your time. Your academics is very important. Don't say because Steve said he was doing business in school. I know I had a mother who happened to be a teacher then, and what betides you if you have been born by a mother that is a teacher and you dare fail. So, and I had to pay my attention, a very serious one, to my studies. And I didn't finish with a bad grade in school, although I was very distracted towards the tail end of my graduation in school. And so you must be very, very studious in school. There's this popular saying that goes thus: once the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? Try hard not to get your foundation destroyed. This is your cradle. This is your foundation. You will build on this to become anything you want to become later in life. So I'll tell you to please get serious with your academics and don't mess up your time. All right. So let me just quickly go so I don't have to take much of your time here. Just a minute, please. All right, so I have this popular quotes that I came up with many years ago. That education is a leveler. Education allows the children of the rich and the children of the poor to sit down together on the seats of stardom, and that's what you have here. You all don't have equal opportunity to, in fact, we're all privileged. Nobody is able to choose the family he or she comes from. All right. So education is that leveler that allows both of you to come together, both the children of the rich and the children of the poor. And you have that opportunity to prove yourself. Your associations, you will meet people. And part of my saying is that you cannot underestimate the power of association. Here in school, you will meet people. You will meet great people. And from there, you will build relationships that will carry you to the next level in life. I was able to meet my best buddies in life in FUNAAB. Ni Agunloye, the chairman of Oxlade Consulting, Oluseun Onibide, the founder of Budget, are all great guys who graduated from here, from this great school, and they are great people everywhere that are Unabites in the world. I met quite a number of friends. Godwin Usude, who happened to be is a top shot guy in LNG, who is one of their top shot HR in LNG. He also graduated from Colem. These are friends we were able to meet while we were in school together. So do not take your relationships in a way that you will not think of building it. You must take your relationship serious with people. All right, and so start building your network so early. It's so important for you to start building your network so early in life. And I said to myself that you must always be yourself. Don't pretend. If you are not adequate to do something, don't claim you can while in school. We are not all wired to become entrepreneurs. And don't say that because you've listened to Steve Okeleji's story, you want to jump out of school and become that kind of entrepreneur. You must know yourself. You must know that you have the capability to be able to get things done. You also should have, sorry, I'm trying to bring these points all together here. All right, so it's so important for you to find something so early in life, very important for you. Once you are able to find your strengths or find the things you can do very well as a young chap, please lash on it and stay on it. Don't quit. I also had challenges. Let me say that all this that you've heard didn't just come on a platter. I went through a whole lot of hard work. I went through a whole lot of failures. And today I say that I wear my failures like badges of honor. You will also have to go through your own time. You have to stretch yourself. Nobody is ever going to hand over success to you. You have to be very studious. And I have to tell you that now we are in the age of technology and innovation. It's very important for you to embrace technology. And you are in the university where you can try a lot of things. And I'm sure our university too is going to be doing more on encouraging you to go into artificial intelligence and, to imbibe technology with what you are also here to study in school. And the beautiful thing about studying in FUNAAB is that every aspect of any course you study in FUNAAB gives you the opportunity to also practicalize it. All right, so don't say because you were given a course or you found yourself in the department. There's always an entrepreneurship aspect of all the courses being studied here in FUNAAB. And that is what you should find so early. And what, if I may ask, what are the things that push me out then? The fear of the unknown. Unemployment, I asked myself, how much was the graduate of aquaculture earning at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture those days? And because I was privileged to be exposed so early in life to make money, it became difficult for me to come with that resolve to say, I wanted to earn 15,000 naira then as a salary. So, and I needed to do something very interesting. And what I did then was quite interesting and tedious. Things have changed today. Then we never had social media. Today, you can leverage on social media to do and market whatever you think you can. Even your intellectual properties, you can get it preserved so early. Before now, we used to hear the story of you have to wait until you get to a certain age before you make money. No, it has changed. The whole order is gone. You can make money as young as you are. And in the end, success is all about how comfortable you are able to be in life. And so I would say to you that please leverage on technology. And the most important thing is that you should also find a mentor. It is the shortest cut to success in life. They say there are no shortcuts to success. When you find a mentor, it makes your journey easier. You are able to walk faster. You are able to avoid some pitfalls. Part of what I was able to do as a young chap in life was I was able to find a mentor. My father happened to be my first mentor. And so when I got to Abeokuta, I had to adopt the late Rear Admiral Olufemi Olumide as my mentor, who, guided me throughout school. And today, I'm sure in his grave, he's happy with me because I never disappointed him. So you must find, a mentor. Gone are the days when we used to have role models. Now we don't have role models anymore in Nigeria. The role models we have are few. So you must find mentors who can advise you, who can show you the way so early in life. Don't believe in yourself alone. You also have to believe in your mentors. And your first mentors you will find in school are your lecturers. I found my own mentors in school. If Professor Izeri wasn't doing fish, I probably wouldn't have gotten that spark to do that. And I must say that when I was graduating, I was maybe some also had money then, but I think I was the richest student when I was graduating from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. I graduated from this great school, and I remember those good old days. I had over 6 million naira in my account. It was not Yahoo Yahoo. It was proceeds from fish. It was not Yahoo Yahoo. We were in school when the so-called Yahoo Yahoo started. It was not Yahoo Yahoo. It was proceeds from fish. All right. And for those of you that are in aquaculture department, don't ever change your course. That is the best place to be. All right. So, like I said, life is full of challenges. Life will throw you its own challenges. Life will even punch you right in between your eyes. But don't give up. You have to always pick up your hope wherever it falls and carry on again. I want to say that you should step out because your time starts now, all right? I remember those good old days. When I came up with the team, once we get into the lecture room and we're about to start our test cards or exams, they say your time starts now. So I'm telling you that your time starts now. I want to finish on this note that I am going to be committing into God's hands. It's only him that can keep, and he will watch over you throughout your stay in school. And I pray that his guidance, his light will shine before you and you would all succeed. I will be offering myself as your first mentor because I will not be far away from my school. And Mr. Vice Chancellor, I also want to thank you for helping me to institutionalize the Steve Okeleji Aquaculture Award. I was going through the award that was given in school, and I discovered that I will see 10,000, 20,000, 40,000. And I asked myself, no student is going to be motivated with 10,000, 20,000. And I came to meet my Baba in the department. I told him, I said that I want to give back to my school. I want to have a kind of endowment that any graduating student who is able to demonstrate the capacity of, combining your academics with entrepreneurship, in school, I want them to be able to have access to this award. And, the Senate and my departments, my college and my lecturers were able to help me push this through. And today we have the 250,000 naira grant for the Steve Okeleji, Aquaculture Entrepreneurship Award. So for the students of aquaculture, please do everything to make, to get that award. It's very important. So because that becomes an impetus for you, to want to do more. I'm sorry, I'm sweating, but I think I've been able to convince you. I leave you in the hands of God. And as I was speaking, I saw my global technical director, Mrs. Edna, who is the global technical director of Aquatic Hub Africa Network. She has over 30 years experience in the aquaculture industry, and I have to recognize her. She's an enigma. We will not be far from the school. We will come back with all our years of failures and successes to see what we can do with our department. I would also use my own contact to reach out to the alumni. In fact, we did one recently during the alumni program. Sheon Onigbede, the founder of Budget, came around and he decided to start a 1 million endowment. I'm sure it's coming to you to process it for the university. For students of electrical, electronics and students, here in FUNAAB. If you are able to So for those of you in elect, you might be lucky to get Shioni Bide's 1 million naira award. So please face your studies. We are here to watch your back. Our prayers is that you get better than us. That's our prayers. Enjoy your stay in school. I promise you that it's going to be a good ride here, FUNAAB. Thank you very much.
Please sit down. The Vice Chancellor, sir, will now go into the matriculation proper. As I invite deans of colleges to present the matriculating students of their respective colleges. Let me start by inviting the Dean of the College of Agricultural Management and Rural Development, Colamrod, Professor E.O. Fakoya, to present these students.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, with the matriculating students in the College of Agricultural Management and Rural Development stand and remain standing.
Next is the Dean of the College of Animal Science and Livestock Production, Kulani, Professor Shiji Showande.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, will the matriculating students in the College of Animal Science and Livestock Production stand and remain standing?
The next in line is the Dean, College of Biosciences, Professor Yabo Kehinde.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, will the students, the matriculating students of the College of Biosciences stand and remain standing?
Next in line is the Acting Dean, College of Entrepreneurial and Development Study, Kudens, Dr. S.M.A. Osu.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, will the matriculating students of College of Entrepreneurial and Development Studies stand and remain standing?
Next in line is the Dean of the College of Engineering, Professor Oyu Dairo.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, will the matriculating students of College of Engineering stand and remain standing?
May I invite the Dean of the College of Environmental Resources Management, COLEM, Professor Moni.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, with the matriculating students in the College of Environmental Resources Management stand and remain standing.
May I invite the Dean of the College of Food Science and Human Ecology, ably represented by Professor Moji Adegunwa.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, will the matriculating students of College of Food Science and Human Ecology stand and remain standing?
May I invite the Dean of the College of Physical Sciences, Colfis, Professor Akinwale.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, will the matriculating student in the College of Physical Sciences stand and remain standing?
May I invite the Dean of the College of Plant Science and Crop Production, Plant, Professor J.J. Atungu.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, will the matriculating students of College of Plant Science and Crop Production please rise and remain standing?
Last but not the least, may I invite the Dean College of Veterinary Medicine, Colford, to please present his students.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, will the matriculating students in the College of Veterinary Medicine stand and remain standing?
The Vice Chancellor, sir, I present the matriculating students in the College of Agricultural Management and Rural Development, Animal Science and Livestock Production, Biosciences, Engineering, Entrepreneurial and Development Studies, Environmental Resources Management, Food Science and Human Ecology, Physical Sciences, Plant Science and Crop Production, and Veterinary Medicine. I want to request your permission to take them through the oath of obedience. Thank you very much, sir. For all students, please open to page 4 of the program, because you are going to read after me. When I get to I, you are going to mention your name. On admission to the membership of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, I solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will pay due respect and obedience to the Vice Chancellor and other officers of the university, and that I will faithfully observe all regulations which may, from time to time, be issued by them for the good order and governance of the university, including an order that I should make restitution for damage done by students to public property. I faithfully promise to refrain from any act of violence and any other action calculated to disrupt the work of the university or likely to bring the university into disrepute. In addition, I accept that should I be found wanting in character, the university reserves the right to withhold the award of a degree to me. So help me God. Can you bow before the Vice Chancellor to affirm your oath? You are now fully qualified to be called FUNAABite. Great FUNAABite. Great FUNAABite. Greatest of the 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 greatest. Congratulations. 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 So remember, your time starts now. The journey has just started. Can you please resume your seat? Please resume your seat. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is now my pleasure to invite the Vice Chancellor to present his matriculation address to the matriculants.
Thank you very much. The principal officers of the university, deans of colleges, postgraduate school and student affairs, directors of institutes, centers and services, staff, and other members of university community, the student union presidents and members of the executive of the students union, matriculating students, our commencement lecturer and guest speaker, parents, guardians, and well-wishers, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, great FUNAABites, and the great FUNAABites, and the greatest of the greatest of the greatest FUNAABites. Once again, congratulations. With deep joy and happiness, I welcome all our new students once again to the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, the best university of agriculture in Nigeria, and one of the best universities in the whole country. I say this with all sense of sincerity because perhaps you don't know. At the last ranking exercise, this university placed 9th in the whole of Nigeria. Number 9. And just for you to note that presently in Nigeria, there are over 200 universities. This ceremony, which is an event of serious oath-taking to confirm you as a bona fide student of FUNAAB, is the first that I'm presiding over as the 7th substantive Vice Chancellor of this great citadel of learning. Thank you very much. As FUNAABites, one of your primary responsibilities is to acquaint yourself with the university's rules and regulations, and you are required to strictly comply with them. Do not cross the lawns, do not paste posters indiscriminately, and make use of the walkways are all part of the regulations because we cherish the beauty of our university. You can also visit our website for more information. The 10th commencement lecture of the university, which has been delivered by Mr. Steve Okeleji, who is a renowned aquaculture enterprise developer. And with his lecture, I'm confident that he has brought his wealth of experience in the industry to address the title of the lecture. Your time starts. Your time starts. There is an age-long maxim in law, which says that there is no ignorance in law. As stated earlier, we have distributed, or we are in the process of distributing the university calendar to all of you so that you can keep abreast of the rules and regulations. If you are not very clear on any of the sections, you can seek clarifications from the Students' Affairs Division. You can also seek assistance and guidance from your heads of departments or other appropriate units within the university on any issue that is not clear to you. The university has zero tolerance for antisocial behaviors and indecent dressing. Sanctions such as expulsion, rustication, and suspension can be meted out to any defaulting students. It is also compulsory that students must meet 70% of class attendance to qualify for examination, while a student who does not register for a session earns withdrawal from the university. These are part of the rules and regulations. And once again, I want to plead with you that please acquaint yourself with these rules and regulations so that your stay in the university will be a smooth and successful one. Now, talking about relationships, the commencement lecturer has intimated you of so much about this, but you are to note that Students' Union is available on campus. The president of the Student Union is Comrade Tijani Habibulai Adekunle, aka, you already know him. That's good, that's good. So we implore you always to cool temper and calm down throughout your stay on campus. No issue will arise that can never be solved. Ours is devoid of thuggery and hooliganism. That is our Students' Union activities, but with decorum and constructive dialogue. Failure of dialogue means there's still room for more dialogue. To us, dialogue is far better than confrontation. The university will therefore not tolerate any form of destructive acts by students in the name of unionism. The university shall always recognize the rights of students and shall always protect those rights and also protect the students. You should therefore feel free to bring to our attention any form of harassment. Your complaints can come through the Students' Affairs Division or even your college officers. Admission statistics. The statistics below shows that our fresh students are among the best that were admitted. Yes, clap for yourselves. You were able to make it. Over 10,000 students applied to get admission. About 11,000 thereabout. However, a total number of 4,885 were offered admission. In strict compliance with the university quota as approved by Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board and the National Universities Commission. The statistics is shown below. College of Agricultural Management and Rural Development, 503. College of Animal Science and Livestock Production, 854. College of Biosciences, Biological Science, School Bios, 368. College of Engineering, 423. College of Environmental Resources Management, 641. College of Food Science and Human Ecology, 530. College of Physical Sciences, Coalfields, 648. College of Plant Science and Crop Production, 666. College of Veterinary Medicine, 87. Just to let you know that this is the first time we are admitting such a large number into that college. And the College of Entrepreneurial and Development Studies, Collins, 165. Fresh students who are fully registered and returning students are expected always to have their ID cards on them, especially while on campus. This is to ensure proper recognition and to avoid embarrassment from the environmental officers, otherwise known as security officers of the university. Dress code. You should dress decently and appropriately at all times, as you are to be addressed the way you are dressed. There is high probability that an improperly dressed person is usually disrespected. So dress properly and decently all the time. While we respect traditional and moral culture in this university, this should not be taken for granted to dress inappropriately, which is at variance with the university's dress code. And of course, you should know this. There's an old adage which says health is wealth. Be very humble to seek help when in need and go to the University Health Center immediately when you notice any sign of sickness. We have in place a well-equipped health center with a recently commissioned X-ray center, which has professionally qualified medical officers who are always ready to respond to your medical needs. In closing, the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, is committed to its vision and mission of producing graduates adequately equipped to handle contemporary challenges through cutting-edge research for development in agriculture and the sciences that is driven by information and communication technology. We are resolute in flying our core values of academic excellence, tied with integrity, accountability, high moral standards, as well as ethical behavior and fairness in all relationship with students and staff. Our goal is to be a world-class university, building men and women who will be great achievers in their chosen fields of interest and academic pursuits, like Mr. Steve Okeleji. To achieve this goal, our fresh students must strive at all times to uphold excellence, and they must also avail themselves of the various programs, events, activities provided by the university from time to time. The university expects all students to display high level of discipline in their interactions with both fellow students and members of staff. I will also hasten to say this. Please, as you pass through this university, allow this university to pass through you. Once again, on behalf of the Senate, staff, and students, and the entire FUNAAB community, I welcome you all to this great citadel of learning, and I wish you a successful stay in the university. It shall be well. Thank you very much.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, In the tradition of the warm hospitality that FUNAAB is noted for, I will be inviting the Vice Chancellor to present the commencement lecturer with some of the items of the university, including the plaque.
Thank you very much, the registrar. Mr. Steve Okeleji, we want to specially thank you for presenting our commencement lecture today. It has been a very inspiring one, and we believe that our matriculating students are the better for it. So on behalf of the Governing Council, the Senate, staff, and students of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, we present this plaque of honor to you as our 10th commencement lecturer for the 2022-2023 academic session. Thank you very much and congratulations, sir. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I now want to make it double. I want to make it double. Mr. Okeleji, we present this to you on behalf of our university. These are products that were made on our campus. And so we want to present this to appreciate your coming and for the beautiful lecture that you have given. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Gbogbo yín lẹ máa ṣoríire. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to invite you to come and close the ceremony.
By the powers conferred on me by the Senate of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, I declare this matriculation ceremony closed. Thank you very much.
Can we rise up for FUNAAB anthem and the national anthem? national anthem.
Thank you very much. Please, the procession should file out in a reverse order through the central hall. Let us all remain standing while the procession files out through the central hall in the reverse order. Congratulations to you all. We have come to the end of the 2022-2023 Matriculation Ceremony and the 10th commencement lecture of this great university. Please, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Let's give ourselves a resounding round of applause. Congratulations to you all. Now it's my honor also to address you as the greatest FUNAABite. Great FUNAABite. Greatest of the greatest FUNAABite. Thank you all and congratulations once again. Please let's open all the exits so that we can all file out of this hall